What it do, family? It's your boy King Crowder checking back in with another edition of history that we may not know, that we need to know, and it's important for us to learn. Today's lesson will be on a subject that is probably pivotal, that we all should know, called freedom towns across America. What are freedom towns? Freedom towns are Black-owned cities that were created post the Civil War. These were towns that literally Blacks went into post-emancipation, and they started, built, developed, and created their own cities. I know anything that knows anybody about history never knows about this subject, but literally these were over 250 plus towns that were created across America. Freedom towns and freedom colonies are what they call. You literally had the formerly enslaved people come into this town and establish their own housing, development, legal, political, and own infrastructure from the ground up. Why is it such a pivotal thing? Because it was shown throughout history when you leave people to the right to themselves, they develop and cultivate their land. The reason why this is such a powerful thing, because like I like to give them gems on about history. One thing that most people do not even know this subject. We all think emancipation, we went on there, slavery kept going, then it was Jim Crow. We have no idea that the other side of American history is that you saw Black Americans literally cultivate their own land. I like to give a few subjects, but one thing that's really brilliant for me, being a Virginia native myself, is Pocahontas City, which was probably one of the first established Black towns in America. The reason why this was so pivotal was because literally you saw these people not educated, little resources, cultivate and develop their own. And the reason why this is such a pivotal thing to learn about history is because we all need to know this narrative. We get told one side and we never get told the other side and how it was developed. One thing that the Freedom Colony establishes so much across the U.S. history is we don't know this is where most of the Black inventors really came from, the education systems, and how the segregated cities lasted on themselves. A lot of this thing started to populate tremendously during the 19th century. During this time in the 19th century, we really saw the elevation of these cities occur. Like I said, they were all across the United States. We saw them have their own militias, their own military, and their own training seminars. The reason why you could say these cities began to dissipate was because of urbanization. Urbanization when basically the sharecropping industry and the nomad type of lifestyle started to dissipate. Nomads are people live on their own, living off the land. But Blacks in this era wanted to be a part of a city and wanted to be chasing natural resources. So we saw a trend of us go down in the rural areas, and we began to see the populations begin to transform into more larger cities. Think of Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, LA, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia. That's when you saw the migration of Blacks starting to go into the area, leaving a rural, small community they were formerly in. You see it amongst white population and Black populations. But that's one of the reasons why you don't see so much of these freedom towns throughout America still being predominant and big to this day. But I really like to emphasize how many freedom towns were in each state. I will put a link below in the description of this video so you can literally click the video and see for yourself, because of the rich and extensive history is so much to see from. I like to give an overview of it and why freedom towns were around, because I believe that most people in the United States have no idea how many were near you or how many were above you and how many are real. So again, this subject, this is an overview on what freedom towns were, how they were established, how they were created, and how the Black Americans in this country have a footprint on our society. This is King Crowder checking back out, y'all. Just want to give you a quick video update on freedom towns and freedom colonies throughout the U.S. and why this is important to know. Peace.